Hello, Ezekiel. I listened to your recording of yourself, and it sounds quite musical. Your instinct is good, and you just having a little bit of difficulty with your sound production. So I can't offer any quick fix. What I can do is comment about trumpet playing in general. And if you start to incorporate good habits, your playing will improve over time. There's nothing that will uh, make things better quickly, uh, no matter how much we would like that to be the case. It takes time and patience. Um, what I suggest you work on is having the most solid, steady flow of air that's possible. What I'm hearing is that your air is not steady, and that can make your accuracy less. So, um, one thing you can do is practice some long tones. Just hold a note out for a very long time and focus your attention on the sound. You're not thinking so much about what you're doing with your body. You're thinking, is that sound, solid and steady? Because the air is flowing like a mighty river. It just keeps coming. And it does not have to be played loudly. If you play softer, that might improve your sound. And it doesn't have to be a large volume of air. The trumpet requires less air than most people think, and increasing the air doesn't make anything better. So the trick is to have that setup in your lips be very accurate. It's directing the air right where you need it, and then a tiny bit of air can make a big sound. So one thing that I do is I take out the tuning slide. This is great for a warm-up. And I'll sit up nice and straight, good posture. I will fill up my lungs with air, as much as I can, but it's very important that you remain relaxed. So you never want to strain and struggle to play the trumpet. If you feel tension, that's working against you. So stop what you're doing and focus your mind, and then relax. And the sensation of putting air into the trumpet should be like you're releasing the air, like your lungs are a balloon and you fill up the balloon, and then when you let go of that balloon, the air comes out easily. You don't need to squeeze the balloon to have the air come out. You just relax and allow the air to flow into the trumpet. You always want that relaxed feeling of releasing air. Now I'm going to put the tuning slide back in, and that pitch you get with just the lead pipe when you remove the tuning slide is close to an F on the trumpet. So now I'm going to play an F. My tone, you may hear, is a little bit shaky. Unfortunately, that's due to a medical condition that I suffer with, and so it interferes with my trumpet playing to some degree. So I hope you can play a tone that's steadier than mine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some tonguing. And when you tongue, you want it to be, near the tip of your tongue, inside your mouth. This part of your tongue right here, not the very tip, but here is where you interrupt the flow of air to tongue a note, but you want a teeny tiny little motion of that part of your tongue. If it's a big heavy motion, that can interfere with the flow of air. So the air just keeps moving and the tiniest little bit of motion. So I'm going to tongue some notes, and I'm going to think of it like one flow of air, like the end of one note is right up to the beginning of the next note, with no empty space in between. That kind of thing. And if you do that regularly, you can develop your ability to have a nice tone, especially when you start the note with the tip of your tongue. Now, what I hear when you're playing is some of your notes, you're losing the sound. You tongue the note, and we hear just air before you hear the sound. So it's air and then the note. Like I can imitate that. I don't know if you can hear it over the internet. So you want to avoid tonguing heavily or blowing too hard, because when you hear just air, what's happening is your lips are separating and you're hearing the air pass through your lips without any sound. And if your lips are a tiny bit closer, then the sound is continuous. Now, there is an exercise that I talk about in one of my videos where you do that on purpose. You start with air and then gradually tighten the lips until the sound starts. And that's another way of approaching it to gain control of these muscles that create the sound. But when you're performing a piece of music, you don't want your lips to separate. So try using a little bit less air and tonguing very lightly, but keep the pressure of the air continuous. And it also helps to think about what you do with your body when you inhale. Sit up nice and straight spine, without tension. So you're sitting up straight, but you're relaxed. And you draw the breath low into your body so you can feel your belly expand as your abdominal muscles move to expand your interior intestines and all the internal organs. They're being pushed down by your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm in order to draw air into your lungs. And after those muscles move, or simultaneously, your ribs also will expand to the side, and they may lift a little bit. Your muscles in your chest, you'll lift your rib cage up. And so when you inhale, that's when your muscles are doing the work of playing the trumpet. When you exhale, you're relaxing and just releasing the air. It's the elasticity of your muscles, your chest and your abdomen, and in your back as well. They're full of air. When you release it, that elasticity is what moves the air into the trumpet, just like releasing the air out of a balloon. And you can achieve a wonderful feeling of relaxation when you think about things this way. So practice just taking in a very deep, relaxed breath, and think about how your body feels as you're inhaling. Do you feel your belly expanding? Do you feel your ribs moving outward? And you start to identify various muscles in your body that move to draw the breath in. And you want to think about that often enough that you start to take that deep, relaxed breath out of habit. And something else that I think would be helpful to you in your practice is focus your attention on absolutely perfect timing. I don't know if you practice with a metronome when you play the trumpet, but using a metronome and really concentrating, focus your attention on playing your music precisely with the tempo, especially that first note. You're resting and you hear the metronome, and then you start to play. Line it up perfectly with the click of the metronome. And you can also practice without a metronome, but tap your foot. And you can subdivide in your mind 16th notes for those quarter notes you're tapping in your foot. You're getting ready to play and you think 1, 2, 3, 4 e and 1. So that 4 e and that's 4. You're dividing the last resting beat into 4 parts, and that gives you more precision to start the note exactly on time. And if you practice that way every day, that careful attention to timing will help coordinate all the muscles that are required to create a note. So when you play a note, muscles in your lips work, in your cheeks, in your tongue, in your breathing muscles, in your muscles that help you to hold the instrument. It's all coordinated into one action. And if the timing is off, even a tiny little bit, that can interfere with the sound and reduce your results. So I hope all of this is helpful, and I'm going to offer you a link to another video that I've created a long time ago, and there's some stuff in there that you also might find helpful. So I do hope that helps. Feel free to contact me again, and enjoy playing your instrument. Bye-bye.